Hey there, guys. Roy from Apotheca Marketing. We are going to talk about why your budget may not be getting spent on Google AdWords. Stick around. Let's find out. So one of the common questions we get from clients all the time is, hey, we have a budget that we want to spend monthly on Google Ads, and it's not always consistent. And we want to spend $10,000 a month, but it's only spending $8,000. Like, why is that? What's happening? There's a few reasons why Google may or may not be spending all of your budget. So the most important thing to realize is that your budget that you set, and if you're familiar with Google Ads, it's a daily budget. So you go in and you set, this is how much per day that I want to spend. So with that daily budget, it's a recommendation or a suggestion to Google. Google is they can spend as much as 2 times your budget. It's in their policy. So they may spend more, particularly when they're figuring out your ads and the algorithm is learning your target audience and how your ads are working and the responsiveness and that type of thing. They may not know exactly how to spend that money yet, so it may go over. It's probably going to more likely go under during the learning phase. So again, it's a suggestion to them. They can spend it if they want to. They can, spend more if they want to. It's really only a recommendation. Now, I will say that Google is generally pretty good about coming very close to your budget normally. Now, like I said, there are certain things that will impact that, and we're going to touch on those. So one of the biggest things that's going to impact your potential budget is audience. So do you have the audience to support the keywords and the products that you want to sell, or what you're promoting? So if there's not a large audience, if there's not a lot of searches, if there's not the traffic interested in your products, then those keywords and those ads are not going to be served up. Google is looking for the largest audience possible for the keywords and products that you're trying to sell. And so, you will sometimes see in keyword reports that it's ineligible due to low search volume. That's a pretty common problem, especially if you're going after really long tail keywords or keyword phrases that people might be searching for. While those typically are more profitable keywords, they're not as high competition. People are maybe further down in the conversion funnel. So those are good keywords to try to go after, but they're not always going to be served because maybe they don't have the volume of searches every month. So this is where it behooves you to make sure that you're doing your keyword research. You're using Google's tools, particularly to look at keyword volumes and potential searches each month. And that's going to clue you into keywords that they're actually serving up that people are searching for. If your keyword's not getting very many searches per month, 1 or 2 searches per month, obviously they're not going to serve it. So aside from just search volume and certain keywords being ineligible and that type of thing, the other thing that you'll see is ad quality. So ad quality is kind of a combination of factors that Google looks at, right? So it's not dissimilar from page quality that they look at for SEO or something like that. But ad quality looks at things like your relevance. So if you're bidding on certain keywords, does your ad have those keywords in the copy? Is it related to the keywords that people are searching for? Does your landing page have those keywords in its copy? Is it related to the ad that you're running? Is it related to the keywords that you're bidding on? So those are factors that it will look for ad quality. It also looks at landing page experience. So is your page really slow? Is it poorly designed? Is there some other problem on the page, like an interstitial or a redirect or something like that, that could potentially impact Google's perception of the quality of the page? And again, they're looking at a number of factors, like the page load speed, the relationship to the ad, that kind of stuff. This is all going to reflect back on your ad quality. And you can see this in your reports. If you look, there's a quality score metric in your reporting on Google Ads that you can look at to see how it ranks. And it's a number from 1 to 10. And it will show you, like, is your ad a 1 out of 10? And that will impact its relevance. So Google's going to serve ads that it perceives as more relevant. It's also going to serve ads that have a better experience. So if somebody clicks through on it, are they going to have a better user experience on your site? And if that's not the case, then your ad is not going to get served as much, which means you're not going to be getting as many clicks. And, you may not spend your budget. So if you have a number of ads that all have low quality, that may be impacting your budget getting used and how much your ad is getting served. All right. The other thing that Google looks at is not just the ad quality, but also things like click-through rate, right? So you might have the right keywords in the ad. You might have a great landing page experience, but if people aren't clicking through on your ad, then that's going to impact whether it's getting served up too. They do look at the click-through rate. This could be for a number of reasons. It could be because maybe your ad just tends to be lower on the page. Maybe it's the calls to action are missing, or your copy is not particularly compelling, or it's really bland. This is where you need to go in and test your headlines, test your ad copy, see what you can do to increase your click-through rate, see what your competitive field looks like. Should you put a promotion in your ad copy? Should there be more explicit upfront calls to action? Should there be more excitement in the ad copy? All things that you need to test. So you want to test all of the various aspects of your ad and make sure that it is going to be clickable. Like, do people want to click through on this to see what we have to offer? Your brand can also impact that. Like, if you're an unknown quantity in the field and there's other known brands, then that could be part of it, is that maybe they're clicking on something that they know better because they don't know who you are. So again, testing the ad copy is one of the ways that you can start to approach that. On that note of competition is a big driver of whether your ad's going to get clicked on and whether you're spending all of your budget, right? So competition is more than just maybe somebody knows another brand, but it's also, are they spending more on a regular basis, right? So that other company may be spending significantly more money than you. They're always coming up higher in the searches. People see them repeatedly, and that's going to continually drive your ads down because they're spending more. They're maybe getting more clicks. Their ads getting served up more. So that is definitely a consideration. The other is that, are the keywords you're bidding on, are they highly competitive? Do you need to look at longer tail keywords? There's certain product categories that are just inundated with very large retailers like Amazon and eBay and, the big box stores like Home Depot and Lowe's. Some of these major advertisers are going to be your competition. And if you're a relatively unknown or small site, you're going to have a hard time competing against them. So what you need to do, again, is look for ways that you can compete. Maybe it's improving your Google Shopping feed so that you can compete in that because your products are getting served up specifically through Google Shopping. Maybe it's just making sure that your pricing is available in your ads, or you're using some benefit statements and calls to action that the competitors might not be. So those are all things that you're going to have to look at. Competition is definitely something that you're going to want to review. If you're in a space where you're just going to get hammered by big competitors, your budget's probably not going to get spent on a monthly basis just because, your ad's not getting served up as much. And then finally, one of the things that we see a lot of times that will impact whether your budget's getting used and whether your ads are getting served is conversion rate. So Google is really pushing for more and more having their AI keep track of a lot of things like conversion rate, like the user experience on your site. They put conversion tracking tags on your site. They encourage you to set up, rather than just clicks, that they want to track by how they maximize conversions. And what that means is that their AI is looking at who is converting on your site, what audience is converting, are they converting, And then it's gauging the quality of your ads based on those metrics. So ideally, it's going to serve your ad to people that are more likely to convert, that have a history of converting on your site or sites like yours. But if they're not converting, if you aren't selling stuff via paid search, if there's just not the sales there, Google doesn't have the data to necessarily model how to serve your ads up or who that audience is. So if you've got an exceptionally low or missing conversion rate, that's going to impact your ads. So, if you're just not selling anything on those, then Google doesn't know where or how to serve them. So chances are your budget's not going to get used up. One of the ways to combat all of these things is to let your ads age and continue to do testing. So if you turn on your ads and they're not converting in the first week and you shut them off, Google doesn't have any data, right? And then we see this occasionally with clients where, they'll change their mind, turn them back on. They don't wait long enough. They turn them back off. And if you have a campaign or ad groups that you're constantly turning on and off, Google has to relearn every time it gets turned back on. It's going to take time for it to collect that conversion data. So, all of that historic data you might have had kind of goes out the window. So best thing that you can do if you do have low converting ads is just to let them run, maybe at a reduced budget, but to let Google gather that data. The other thing that you can do is take audience models of people that have purchased on your site and upload that customer data into Google. And it will then take those people, it knows that they're purchasers, and it will model on those purchasers. So if you're not making purchases through paid search, but you do have customer data, you can give that to Google, give it an injection of information and data that it can then use to model. So if you do have those low conversion rates, it knows how to at least start to model some of your customers. So the more information you can feed the AI, the better your ads are going to perform. But overall, you may not see Google spending your entire budget if your ads are not high quality, if they're not converting, if your website isn't high quality, if it's slow to load. All of those things are going to impact whether your budget's being spent. And then obviously the other big thing is competitors. If you're in an extremely competitive field, you're going to need to look at other opportunities for longer tail keywords and that type of thing to help drive, more purchases, more clicks, and ideally get up to where your budget spend needs to be. So if you have questions, leave them in the comments. If you're seeing other things that are impacting your Google ads that you'd like to share, we'd love to hear them. And as always, give us a like and subscribe, and we'd love to see you around later as we do more of these videos. Have a great day. Thanks.